against crowd control, and she can pull people off the map herself.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. And we're off to races.
Okay, let's place our bets. Which map are we going to first in Nepal?
Traveling to Nepal.
Shrine. I like this one. See, this is an interesting map here too, because you do still have Pharah. I'd be interested to see if they try to pull Pharah Echo on any of the maps except for this one, just because you have so much vertical mobility that you kind of lack while trying to contest the point. Could see maybe a double shield comp coming out here, or maybe even just going full dive, but they don't have a lot of mobility or verticality to work with here.
If they're going for the double shield, then Arista Sigma will honestly be outpicked right here.
Yeah, but then what do you do to counter it? Do you pull out your Symmetra, or do you go with something a little bit more mobile and try and get around it? So we do see Sigma Star on both sides, but we're seeing this. So we do get the Symmetra and a Mei. It looks like they are kind of expecting a double shield from that to work out, but then we got Tracer. Interesting to see where Night Strike goes on this. I do like the Lucio pick though. Lucio and Moira just generally wanting to get into the advantageous position fast, and just Moira for sustain. Doomfist, okay.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Could give it.
Alright. Looks like the two DPS are coming out right out the back. Trying to get on point and trying to have map pressure.
And Scarlet, doing a smart strategy I've seen a couple teams pull so far. They start with the Symmetra and then teleport everyone forward a little bit, and then Storm went to Reaper to teleport after him. It's really hard to see who's going to have the advantage here unless that Doomfist can land some value.
Mm-hmm.
If it does go into a brawly or like more of a drawn out fight, though, I can see Scarlet having a huge advantage though overall, just with their more sustained picked.
All right, and there comes the first picks of the night. We got Eros and Ginger down. Bravery is also down as well.
Scarlet really just looking at there's Moira for their sustain now.
It's about over, and that will be one down for Scarwet.
If without any major changes on either side, I think it's really going to come down to against this here. It's really going to come down to who can land value first between the Mei and the Doomfist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see too many combos for that grab though, unless they just try and throw a pulse bomb into there.
Alright. We see the Doomfist trying to be sneaky and try and get a pick off. Alright, and we see him taken out by Kaneki.
It's interesting running Reaper into this, just because you don't really have an easy target for the ring line. Everything else is so mobile, zipping around, you can get taken up before you can even.
Okay, and we see the Sigma will come out. Along with Ali, you see Dead Blossom come out and gets 2 picks. D.Va is now out of mech. And we see the grab come out.
Kind of a desperation grab with not a lot to do with it though, but it's enough.
But it's enough to get them that extra.
So kind of a cleanup grab at that point with the Zarya, just enough to put their way, and she had a charge where she pretty much was able to wipe them herself.
And Monarch coming up on 75.
Monarch really here. I do like the Hanzo over the Doomfist here, just because Doomfist easy. They can easily do way target by him. Really, only the Sigma was the easy target.
Looks like Tracer's going on a flank on the back. Alright. It looks like we have double coalescence for this team fight.
It's the dueling light beams.
Alright, and then comes. Depending on how this fight goes, this could be end of round 1.
No, it's just enough. They were able to hold it on.
No, Mosaic is down.
I do kind of wish we had seen Mosaic there go a little bit more aggressive on that fight and just fight on, make sure they were fighting on the point. If you're going to stay into that fight, you want to be contesting so that way you don't give them any percentage.
And that pulse bomb has taken out Jinjiro.
The issue Monarch's kind of run into it. They have two very tanky damage characters.
That misclick on the pulse.
Pretty much they just
Storm
pretty much
Boston takes out 2. I mean, there was the Jinjiro and Kaneki taking that all along with.
That May is just absolutely bullying the Sigma.
Ooh, and Eros is down for the count as well.
That could be
And
it.
then Logan's Pulse Bomb cleans it up on Dizzy.
May and Moira are going to be the first ones coming back. I don't even think the Lucio's going to make it. Yep, that's it.
And there will be it. Monarch takes game 1 or round 1.
They take game 1 of round map.
0 to 1. Ready for battle.
All right. Let's see if there will be a different comp coming. Now we have Luffy. You might see an Orisa switch up, but who knows?
On this one, I agree that Orisa's good, but yeah, I mean Orisa Lucio can kind of work here. I like. We'll see how Echo goes in her first appearance though. Here,
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather seen them just stick with May.
And we see Bravery and not only Bravery but Al also going the Orisa. We all know what's gonna happen here.
It'll be interesting to see. Just I like the Orisa versus Hog or the Diva versus Hog,
Orisa has been booped.
and there goes the Roadhog.
Ooh. Then JJ just returns it on Mosaic.
But every Orisa on this map just hiding in the corner.
Ooh, Arrows and Lynx is out of Mega, and Arrows has down. Storm gets Strike, Logan gets Kaneki, and Storm is down, along with Disease.
Sure, just kind of just stalling at this point. No, there he goes.
Alright, there we go, and Monarch takes point.
You know, I never noticed that the lights above the point here. I think they change based on what team controls it. Because I just saw it change to red. Now this is going to be one of the hardest points, or hardest like chokes to push into playing as an Orisa, even with the Lucio speed boost, just because you really can't be as mobile as you want to be with. They're basically going to need to find some way to get their Reaper in or their Echo in to kill something before they can really. But that Tracer commanding the flank, it's not going to be really easy for them.
We're gonna try and see. It looks like they're trying to go around.
They're a little separated from their Orisa though. Now she's caught up though.
Allied died early on, so around a little bit stacking. Team rotates into this choke. Diva's trying to get aggressive here, but Lucio beat drops. Alright, and we see Arrows turn into.
That's an interesting choice from the Echo.
Storm is down, Lynx. Arrows is now out of his ult. Arrows down, Lynx down, JJ down.
That's gonna be a thing. Fall back at that point.
This.
As long as Ultron can get out. Nope.
And then Bravery takes out Al.
They're really just they're in a situation now where holding on to the Orisa or staying on the Orisa Hog is great for once they get onto the point, but they're gonna have a hard time breaking through this choke just because they don't have any way to defend themselves until you drop that shield. Or is this just built so defensively it's hard to push?
Alright, we see the beat drop come out. Alright, Bravery is taken down.
They need to get rid of that Hog in their backline though. They just ran right past him.
Ooh.
There it is. Both Hogs are gone.
Al is down, and so is Storm. And Mosaic is down for the count. Eros is down, Junkrat, and the Night Strike is
support battle with the Tracer present.
And then Kaneki is down, and also J-Jiro. The supports are all dead. And it looks like Monarch will be taking game 1.
It's a pretty good even fight there until the end, really. The issue, like I said, really was that once you got to the point where the Orisa was holding that choke point in the front, you had no way to get past him with your own Orisa Hog.
Exactly.
It's because even if you have...
Orisa is a really big bunker strat, and it can be hard to play around.
Not to mention, like, It's one thing if they have a more mobile shield of their own that has to choose between shooting at you and or hitting you or doing damage in some way and shielding his team. When you have an Orisa set up in that choke point anyways, they have so many defensive angles they can fall back to even if they don't have that shield that there's really nothing they can do to get through that door. Especially in that mirror matchup. And they had the Diva too to keep their shield up longer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see though, who's up next?
It would seem that King's Row is next on our list for the map.
I like King's Row. It's one of the I almost want to say better balanced maps. Not that I'm a huge fan of the hybrid or assault maps, but King's Row is one of the ones that I love when it comes to that, just because you have no way to. It's a very brawly map. To actually make it interesting this week to see how that goes.
We shall see. We shall see.
Same thing if we get to Rialto. Rialto is one of the maps where back when Goats at the thing, it was Goats every time, Goats every time, Goats every time. And between both teams right now, honestly, Monarch is very, very strong when it comes to just playing defensively. They had a hard time. Like Scarlet had just a huge time pushing into their defense no matter what once they took the point. So it'll be interesting to see how Scarlet holds up defending on first point to King's Row, especially. Yes, and especially if they pull out the Orisa again, because they're gonna need to. We haven't really seen them play defensively much at all yet today.
And now we're about to get set up for a game in King's Row.
Now entering King's Row.
So let's see. We're gonna see Winston Goats with Lucio, Ana, and Moira, right?
Depends on what they run.
And do you expect to see them maybe try and pull an Ash? I would almost want to say, or maybe even an Echo here, because you can't. It's not like you can pull out a Widow anymore.
Well, Echo has now become the talk of the town, so we will see. I'm not surprised if they do pull out an Echo.
They did try it on that last one, at least Scarlet did. I'd like to see them try it again, honestly, just because she has a little bit more room to work here. But I do like the Mei.
Mm-hmm. It seems like Scarlet's gonna have a Mei on their defense. That's good for that choke point.
I don't know if I quite understand the soldier pick compared to other options that they had. I mean, I suppose they might be expecting a Pharah and Echo coming in on attack, in which case, yeah, I see the value of a hit scan. When you compare soldier to even Ashe or even Sombra, I think they would get more value than your soldier. It'll be interesting to see if Ashe is able to do anything, though, just because she doesn't have a lot of angles here unless she can get on top of the theater.
Defend objective A.
You might as well just try and speed boost ahead. And there they go. Mark already goes ahead.
And it's right back to the matchup from that first map that we saw with the Zarya and Sigma going against each other. Great anti-nade.
Anti going out.
Able to force out immortality. And they're playing it smart here, though. They're playing back, they're regrouping, getting themselves stabilized, and then you're trying.
Alright. Ooh, and out on JJ.
That's
Then there
probably
goes
gonna
his speed as well. Both tanks. Oh, and there goes Storm and both DP.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Monarch, you just die on point, eat up as much time as you can before you go down and respawn with your team. That Moira's probably gonna get bad spawn. Moira got bad spawn.
Stop the payload.
Man, it looks like Trippy is gonna stay back while the rest of the team pushes up.
I do like the Winston swap here, just because you can really bully their Genji, and they're just gonna be helpful that your teammate, Mei supporting them instead of.
And we see Cole. Hell.
Kind of a defensive coalescence, really. That's Sigma getting behind him, though. It looks like
Ooh, and
Mosaic's
it's
gonna go for
left
something.
Bugs. Can he get a pick off of it? Nope, the immortality feels safe. Ooh, and there goes Eros is down. And we see from Soldier, and Storm picks off. But all of down. One fell swoop.
I'm not sure if Monarch might have over-ulted there a little bit. don't know if they really needed the grab and the tactical visor there, just for the simple fact that tactical visor can't critical. So it's a strange combo to say the least.
And here we go with Monarch making more space
Yeah,
as we go along.
I do really like how aggressive their tank line is playing, though. They're basically forcing Ultra to play defensive.
Mm-hmm.
And they got through that second point with only one fight, too.
All right. And a blade coming out for the combo. Ooh, and we see 4 go down 5. Oh, 4.
No, there goes 5.
All right. And there we go. Scarwet has been team killed, and as Monarch goes and makes space. That was a huge nano blade there.
Yeah, Monarch just kind of being smart at this point. They're playing aggressively, forcing... They're really just forcing Scarlet here to play into them, where they have the angle that they want to fight in. And even then, like, they're getting free payload progress.
Bob's coming out with a... Ooh, and there goes Graviton Surge. Eros is down, as so is JJ and Storm. Lynx is down, and Eros... Alright, and Kel and Ali are also taken out. And Monarch will take... Monarch will take all 3
And Monarch there just really, like I said, playing so aggressively to the point where they were able to get, like we saw, get through the second point with only really one fight on defense there. And that third point, it's kind of, if you can play aggressively where your payload is just moving bit by bit while your team just takes the fight somewhere else. Because you figure if you're going to fight on point, you'd rather that payload is stopped the entire time while the fight is going on. But if you can fight it before and keep it going, that way you don't have to worry about it because you just have a different setup. Because that way, while the fight's going on, your card at least keeps moving.
That would be a mistake on my bad. This was in the quick. Hang on.
It should just be the preset. Anyone remember what time was left on it?
Ready for battle.
Yeah.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
The interesting thing will be here on defense, like I said, you know, they really just Monarch as a whole was having a good time playing defensively. So when they actually do, or Scarlet was doing really well just playing defensively. So we'll see how they do on their first real test. I do like the Winston Sombra though on attack here at least. Kind of just play for Diva Bomb plus sound or plus EMP 2 or 3 times.
Ooh, and we see Onyx Arrows go down. First pick of the game. And then Storm goes down as well in the back.
Yeah, Sombra's a strong pick here, but she's not going to have an easy target to go after. Like, there's no Wrecking Ball, there's no Doom Pass. The only real good target for that Sombra to hack is really maybe their Sigma or their Genji.
And Arrows goes down right before he gets back in the spawn. And we see Monarch taking an aggressive stance here, but they're back in.
They can kind of just play defensively all they want here. They have the time to play with, and they already know they have Blade. They don't really have a combo for Blade, so just as it is. But even then, they don't really have a way to counter them. Just have their own... They wait for that and then go for it.
Alright. Ooh, 3 down in or 3 down in Scarwet. 4.
And you figure if you're Monarch here, you won the fight, save your ultimates.
Alley goes down as well.
Let us see. Looking at the ultimate banks here, Mosaic sitting on Graviton or Gravitic Flux, but there's not really anything else they have to worry about. Unless Storm could really charge up Pulse Bomb quickly.
As Tracer, she's bound to get her pulse bomb as quickly. All she needs to do is load a full clip in you, and that's it. We see arrows coming out with this.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that Scar was trying to take a different approach to get the. We see Graphitic's Flux come out. And see, then he picks him out of it. This is down.
Do you get the Junkrat?
Though.
And we're really just like at a point now where both teams have a ton of.
Oh, and there goes Night Strike.
I feel like this next fight is honestly, once this one cleans up, it's pressing Q if they're really patient. We'll see how it holds out though.
Ooh. Pulse Bomb doesn't get a pick. Bob comes out. We see Coalescence coming in. Ooh, Storm goes down.
And I appreciate the defensive Bob, kind of. Just being there as a presence on the point, forcing them to stay back for a few more seconds.
We see Primal Rage coming out to try and point. And B-Drop comes in. And also, we see Window coming out. JJ is down. Storm, Ox, and Disease also go down. We see the Diva Bomb get just Mosaic. Link's revived.
It's really just a very stally fight at this point. No team really having a full upper edge as
Link's goes down, and Diva comes out of mech. And Trippy takes out Alley.
you're looking at it here. Scarlet really just needs
Ooh,
to find a way to take out. I would say probably their tank line. If they can take out the tank line for Monarch here, that'll be enough for them to possibly take the first point.
60 seconds
You see Arrows revived.
Looking at Logan here, Logan's really just been the one landing a lot of really good dynamites. It's a
Alright, we
pretty
see the
good drop,
Graviton
though.
Surge come out with Blade. Arrows and JJ, Storm taken out. Alley is out of mech. Link's Disease goes down. And there goes Alley as well. We see the Tire come out, hoping to get a pick here.
Just trying to get any sort of a key target if they can get maybe
It
the
takes
Sigma
out
like that.
And
They won't
Alley
have
is
the revive.
revived.
They have no res. So there though. Even the Diva can make it.
Ooh, looks like Coalescence is coming out to keep him at bay, along with the Bob.
Bob really can test. He's just a damage source at this point.
Alright, Storm is down. Alley is out of Meg. And JJ is down. Eros is down. We see Beat Drop come down to protect the teammate.
You gotta put all your resources in your.
Kelly, Disease, and Alley are down. And it looks like Monarch has put the nail in the coffin on this game.
Like I said, like we've been saying, Monarch is just a very defensive team. So once they get into any sort of position where you have to fight into them and attack into their team, into their defenses, you don't really have much of an option there. You can't really fight from an advantageous position at all.
And it looks like Monarch will take game 2.
Where are we going next, folks? Maps actually. It's a fun Orisa map. It's a fun brawl map. Not a lot of dive played on that map, so I wouldn't expect to see it. Though, if our trends would be believed, we're probably going to see another dose of Sigma and Zarya on both teams. Although then again, on a map where Orisa was strong, they did it again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
Here it is. Right, I think I have it set up now.
And we're about halfway through here, so we've seen a pretty one-sided fight so far between Monarch and Scarlet. Monarch just kind of coming up on top through the first two maps. But of course, being halfway through, it's time for a little bit of a halftime break where we can sleep for 15 minutes if you decide to, or if you're able to.
Get your water, get your snacks. I have me some water because you always gotta stay hydrated in our summers.
I've got Chipotle. I'll be fine with that for a little while. But join us after the short break as we get to see if Scarlet can pull off a little bit of a comeback.
So I told him, yeah. Just another day.
And we are back. I hope everyone had a good time for this lovely quick break. And now we're going to be setting into the second half of Monarch versus Scarlet.
Yeah, I had a pretty good nap. What about you?
You know what? Work don't stop, grind don't stop. That's what my football team used to say.
Jeez. What's this? Someone actually did the sports?
Yes, yes. I'm not a simple couch potato. Yes, I'm a beefy boy.
So, Rialto, though, honestly, one of my favorite maps, or at least when it first came out, it was one of my favorite maps because, long story short, no one I played against at least knew how to play against an aggressive Orisa defense on that map. And I would get like 14 environmental kills every other match I played against it, or played on it. And then people got smart. So every time now that I set up at the end of the bridge on Rialto as Orisa, I just get steamrolled. Though, I don't know. I could, given how this thing has gone so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see more Sigma Zarya, like we said earlier. But I am just really wanting to see someone pull out like Ball Diva or Ball Hog, or not Ball Hog, or Ball Winston, and just kind of go super aggressive with a dive comp.
The first point is always the scariest on attack because of that bridge. You can get booped, you can get pulled, you can get all sorts of.
That's why I would like to see that kind of a defensive or an offensive play with a dive comp there, because you can get, you don't have to worry about the bridge if you're past it in 2 seconds. Really kind of depends on if they want to set up on the point, like maybe with something more of a bunker comp, or just push straight in. Because even with a more brawly setup, you could have a Sigma and Zarya and just go in with May Reaper and have Lucio alongside you.
Let me see this real quick. Oh, whoops! I did not mean for that to happen. Getting back in here.
But that being said, I would like to see. Let's see how things go here.
Right.
Now we did see 3 swaps on Scarlet. Ultra and Storm and Auxeros did get swapped out for Hanzuki, Andros 50, and Sub-Hero. So maybe the fresh lineup will give them a little bit of a boost to energy. That will be seen here.
We shall wait and see.
Now the real question is, did they swap because of their like just how they were kind of getting how like needed a little bit of a pick me up, just trying to get something ready for the new map, or trying to make a comeback, or are they making this swap specifically because of Rialto? Maybe they have someone who is really good at say Orisa, and they really want to play that on Rialto specifically.
It'd be nice to see. We all like to see new faces out here, and
You could
we're just
definitely
now getting started.
have a more like specialist style team if you really wanted to. Without this, you just need the roster space. See if we give them their 30. That being said, it's pretty safe to say that we know that at least Monarch will be coming out on their casual. I think it's pretty safe to call that they'll be coming out on Sigma and Zarya. But if the the Scarlet lineup is just kind of up in the air, I'll be honest, because supports can be swapped around enough where they won't. You can't be too specific on what you might. Their lineups could go almost any other direction though. Orisa and Zarya, that's an interesting combination. It's possible that maybe the Zarya is there to be just more help for the rest of their team since Orisa's shield has been weakened quite a bit.
The Orisa can be aggressive as long as she ain't going past you.
I mean, like I said, I like to play Orisa on this map where I just sit on the other side of the bridge, use the payload on on the defensive side of the bridge, and just contest the payload from there, and even use it as cover once it gets onto the bridge. I really would like to see Sub Hero do that, but it looks like they might just hold the high ground. Oh no, they're gonna stay put. Yeah, they're doing exactly what I like. There we go. It's a very good Orisa spot.
You also see the Winston Wrecking Ball coming out for more.
Yeah, no. And two, nothing really that she can pull easily.
Ooh, and Sikon is out for the count. You got Blue, he goes down. Nice strike and Brave.
Genji there getting killed by the trap. That's always a nice.
Then Boop.
I'm surprised, honestly, at how many. Just because most of Monarch was playing stuff that's hard to boop. I do switch up to the Sigma and the Zarya though, which is kind of what I expected here. It's a little bit more stable. The Lucio coming in to be.
He's backing up. JJ is now down. Bravery gets a pick. And so is Andros. Kel, Disease, and Sub Hero are now down.
This map does kind of play like a little bit like King's Row, where that first choke or that first bit of the map is very, very hard to get past. But once you really have a much harder time just getting slowed down. The defensive team has a really hard time retaking that before you capture the next.
Both DPS down, and Logan gets the.
Logan just kind of being that. Not.
I mean, Sub Hero's now down. We see the Coalescence trying to preserve the fight.
Yeah, Logan just really playing the assassin role really well.
Leaks is now out of med, and so as Disease goes down, we see the Dragon Blade. Sikon is revived. Nice Strike is taken out by Hanzuki.
Oh, we get to see
Bravery
the
is going down by Andros as.
Here's a real quick question though: if you're Hanzuki, did you switch to Trace to try and counter the other Tracer defensively, or they're doing to their?
We see the Riptire coming out. Mosaic is now down.
Zarya is.
Ego's coming out for that extra boost of damage. We see Orisa playing here. Trippy is taken out, and so is Bravery.
It's going to be a really hard point to retake, or part of the map to retake in, because you have to get across that bridge where you are completely out in the open. Meanwhile, Monarch can use, or Scarlet can use any type of cover that they want. You need to get it past that arch if you're Scarlet, if you're.
We see Monarch up aggressively. We see, ooh, team's almost being booped off. Zarya just. Ooh, Mosaic has fallen off the map. It's a miracle how Zarya has not died yet by being.
It's all about knowing the map a little bit. You know the points where you can jump off of that boat to get back onto the stairs. 4v6 though, Sigma Shield getting in just in time to do a little bit here.
Monarch is still pushing it up. Trippy and both supports are down. Ooh, Tire takes out.
To
Bravery has been booped off.
Is. Now, Scarlet just kind of ran into a situation there where they had a lot of ultimates, but they kind of just used reactively once they heard the NG Blade. instead of trying to think about what they needed. Because both Beat and the Tire would have been able to stop him alone, but
We see Graphic Flux coming out. JJ Flux. Ooh, but we coming out from Sickon. Jose map again. Down from the post bomb. We see Bongos coming out around. Is taken out by Nice. JJ takes out Nice. Bongos is down by Logan. Sickon gets booped off the map. And Trippy is now taken out by and Bravery has been taken out as well by.
I think at this point we really see what the Scarlet swaps were meant to do. They went out for a interesting style of play here, and it's really been enough to kind of push back Monarch a little. Like Mosaic and Bravery are just really struggling to stay alive in these fights.
You see Mosaic getting taken out there for a little bit of staggering. It'll take him some time to get back over.
Again, you can play a little aggressively here. They don't have an easy way to just kind of punish him for getting aggressive.
We see the Riptire kick. It does. It now dead. Andrews is taken out by Bird.
Hanzuki
Logan
won the
has been
tracer
taken
fight.
out by Hanzuki.
Did he just deflect the?
We see the Diva Bomb takes out Bravery, and we see Coalescence take out Night Strike as well.
It's a nice defensive Diva Bomb there when you think about it. They just
Mosaic
have to
taken out as
choose
well.
between dying to the Diva Bomb or actually getting kills.
30 seconds remaining.
You basically just have to get in a good position here to try and get your Nano Blade off here if you're Monarch. That is your win condition.
We see the Nano Blade coming out. Let's see if there's any value out of it. Hanzuki has been taken out. Night Strike now dead by Kaneki. Kaneki taken out by Low. And Sub is down. Lynx is out of Meg. Andros has been defeated by Bravery. Let's see if they can clear the point. Lynx is down. And it looks like Monarch will be taking this point.
That's
Payload
enough. They
is now
had it was a hard
restarted.
time.
That means they now have.
We'll see if they can make. They're going to play much more aggressive. We're doing really well early.
We see Night Strike is taken out, and we see Critics Flux come out, as long with Colette.
Well, listen, it's just enough to top them off after having had their health taken.
We see the Graviton Surge reaches 3, Andrews is taken out.
Really just been around about the tank fight here.
Lynx is
You
now
see,
out of med.
with Lynx and Sub here are really alive much better than they have been in previous rounds. And because of that, they've been able to stall out some Monarch a lot better.
The pulse bomb comes out but doesn't connect. We see the bomb. We see B coming out to protect against Riptire. Andrew's taken out as long as so is Link. We see Coalescence take out to preserve the. We see
out that Sigma.
We see a counter Coalescence. Sub here taken out by Night Strike. We see Beat Drop coming out. Alright, Kaneki has been taken out. As long as we see Dead Blossom coming out, they're trying to taken away from Scarwet, and it looks like Monarch has taken the.
Like Gravita Flux coming out maybe a couple seconds too early, just not quite enough to be able to keep them in the air long enough to fully cap them. But that Death Blossom at the end, and plus the Orisa really being the only one there, It was just they stalled it as long as they could. They got him into overtime. That has to feel good though if you're Scarlet at this point. You just have to go in on attack and know that you got them. They may have captured all 3 points, but you forced them to get into overtime. Take your time, use up that clock as much as you need to, and just make sure you capture all 3 points. You don't need to rush any fights here.
Yeah, right now, I would say Scarlet just needs to play for time and make sure they get more time.
I'll be honest, like you have to think too as your mindset in Scarlet. So long as you capture the first 2 points, even if it takes you into overtime both times, you'll still have that minute 30 on that last point. And then you can just try and get through it faster. That's all it takes.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get through the first 2 points, as long as you have that time left when you get through the third. I do like the hog here on defense. Because, like we've seen, whenever Monarch can play aggressively on defense, they do pretty well. And Hog is the quintessential aggressive defense pick.
Hog is a good combo with the Orisa because the pull hook can net you an instant kill.
It is an interesting combo though with the Tracer and the Genji. They really just have a lot of mobility with a very stable tank line. So we'll see if they can play around.
Looks like Scarlet is using the tank as the payload as cover right now. Sub-Hero is also taken out as well.
That's huge.
A pull takes out Kaneki and Andrew. Han has taken a nice strike though.
So like I said, they got to play aggressively, and maybe that's probably why they're playing the Tracer and the Genji together, even though they have a non-synergistic tank line with them, because they can just go in, be aggressive, be annoying as those two characters can be, and just have their tank line just pummel and just basically finish off weak characters that Genji and Tracer have created, or weaken them themselves that Genji and Tracer.
Ooh, let me see. Han get the headshot on Logan.
It's a smart move here by Scarlet though, just playing for range at this point between
has
both
been taken out.
between both the Hanzo and the Junkrat.
We see Riptire coming out. Let's see if it gets a pick. It gets 2, Bravery and Sickon.
If you're fall back, you don't really have an option to contest on your own.
Hanzuki and JJ has been taken out by Zayak.
Can land some value. He's gonna have an option.
Taken out by Andro. We hear Coalescence coming out from Scarwet and Bongo. Lynx is out of mech. Trippy is taken out by Coalescence and nice.
But can Scarlet hold? Monarch's gonna want to actually fall back a little bit here. They don't have their full team. They don't even have.
We see.
You can fight Blade on its own, not with the...
As well. Lynx is now out of the map.
This is an awkward position here for Scarlet. You weren't able to capture that first point, and now Monarch can kind of pick wherever they really want to, because outside of the Lucio, they don't really have an easy way to get past them. There's no real easy character to flank around and maybe punish them for holding aggressively on defense here. That's huge.
Ooh, one support down before the team fight is even done.
I'm just going really assassin on that Lucio here, knowing how to get around quick and get to the bridge before Scarlet can get past it.
Back for a little bit.
You do have to think here though, if you're Jinro, you... We're already up in the fight, but once you press Q without take advantage of it. And even then, there is something to be said here for Scarlet just wanting to keep momentum, trying to complete this.
We now see Han switching it up from Hanzo to Reaper.
It is interesting here trying to play Reaper into just not a whole lot they can pick going back.
Ooh, that's a good pull. We see Diva Bomb coming out. Bravery is Diva Bomb does Bravery is down by Sub-Hero. Pulse Bomb comes out, doesn't get any pick.
You gotta wonder if they're just trying to play around the aggressive here from Logan and Night Strike. If they're trying and, I would think maybe try and play around it.
Blade
Get,
coming
like,
out. B drop comes out to counter it. Is taken out. Night Strike is taken out by Han. Coalescence coming out from Monarch.
That's what the fourth time we've seen the dueling coalescences.
We see Riptire coming out as well. Connects, gets Trippy and
I do really love the aggressive
Logan
Riptire.
and Night Strike taken out, and then Sitcon for the cleanup. It looks like Scarlet will be taking second point.
I do love that aggressive Riptire there from Andron. Just you're in the middle of the fight, yes, to get your tire destroyed right away. But if you're not being focused down, your tire is going to be on top of them before they can do anything about it.
Right now, it looks like Scarlet is doing good on time. They have about 3 minutes to get through this point. Let's see if we can see some aggressiveness from Monarch and try and hold them off for as long as they can. Ooh, pulls on connects on Andros. Sub-Hero is taking.
Interesting pulling out the Pharah here. You do have a little bit of vertical
Hanzo
ability. They don't really have much to support Logan on that Pharah. Of course, that won't matter much if Scarlet doesn't do anything to take. Because Pharah can play on her own if she's not getting targeted.
Is switching to the out of the sky.
Now let's see if first second goes to the back, because a Pharah with a Mercy against, like, got perfect aim taking out the Mercy first and then the Pharah. Forever.
We see Coalescence coming out, and Bongos. Sicon and Trippy are taken out, along with Mosaic. Logan is taken out as well. Sub-Heroes, Bongos has been taken out with as live as he can. Pulse Bomb gets double kill on JJ and Andro, but it's not enough as Scarlet is still pushing the payload towards final point.
Monarch can potentially get in here though with a full team fight, with Scarlet only having 4.
We see the Diva Bomb coming out. B-Drop coming out, but it takes out Sitcon.
You can get back if you're sick on here. You can get off. Coalescence won't be enough. Probably to hold on.
Comes out, but Logan accidentally kills himself. We see Graviton Surge coming out. Trippy, Bravery, and Mosaic come out. Sicon is also down. And it looks like Scarlet has taken third point with 1 minute and 56 seconds.
Scarlet here just, it looks like they've learned their lesson. They're pushing aggressively, whether on attack or on defense. And because of that, Monarch can't play in their comfort zone. They have to play a little bit more defensively, and it slowed them down a lot. And you saw it too with Logan and Night Strike playing very aggressive DPS even on defense. They were playing the Genji and playing the Tracer, but that forced Monarch to make, or forced Scarlet to make a decision. They could either try and deal with them and get an opportunity to take them out without McCree. That's a little hard against both these guys. So instead, they chose probably the better choice either way, to just push past them, make Logan and Night Strike punish you for ignoring them, and they really couldn't half the game. Scarlet will be defending first. It looks like they're going to stick with what worked the first time. They got the Reaper and the Junkrat. I would almost like to see Monarch here just pull out the Pharah right away. Know that they didn't really counter you much even when they did switch to Soldier. But let's see what Night Strike does.
Right now, they just have to push it as far as they can without much interference from Scarlet.
Yeah, Night Strike, they're just going for the Tracer Genji like they did. Maybe just sick of that Junkrat.
see round 2 moved off. Andrew's taken out by Night Strike. Night Strike taken out by Sub-Hero, taken out by Trip.
With the great
Now-
anti-nade, they're really just turning the battle of the Orissas around.
And JJ has been taken out as well. Right now, they're doing a good job trying to push. We see Coalescence coming.
It's like I said, you know, Monarch wanting to play a little bit more aggressively, but
Let's see if they can get point 1 right here. Pulse 1 comes out, hit a pick or anything out of it.
this is good.
Out. Bravery's Bongo has been taken out. We see the Blade doesn't get much value out of it. Lynx is down, Sub-Hero are down. The Night Strike taken out by Andro.
They're really just
Ooh,
struggling
and
to take out
Hanzuki has
Monarch's. Monarch's tank line has kind of regained their durability by playing the double shield here, so they can't really get any impact out of it. They're able to take out 1 or 2, but not the bigger targets.
Ooh, huge anti coming out. Again, first point. Yeah, now they have to keep pushing. Kel Kaneki has been taken out. They're just trying to push aggressively as they're trying to get as much distance as they can.
Scarlet kind of running into this issue again, where
taken out.
they're kind of running into this issue
Has been
again,
taken out by
where
Pulse Bomb.
just Monarch's tank line is so durable now, plus because they have like good support from their Ana, where no matter what Scarlet does pushing into it, they can't really make much of an impact onto their tank. While Genji and Tracer just kind of tearing up their back.
Coalescence coming out. They're trying to get him off point. Ooh. B-Drop coming out. We see Riptire coming out. Link's on a mech. Sub-Hero down. Logan taken out by Rip. We see Bongos coming out for the extra damage. Hanzuki taken out by Night Strike. JJ taken out by Mosaic. Link's taken out by Night Strike. And we see Sitcom beat down Andros. And they're still pushing on.
If you're Scarlet here, you're basically looking at your next chance to defend is going to be at this second point here. If you can even get a full group up for that. You might just have to fall back to...
We see Bongo's Scarwet. A huge anti coming out. Sub-Hero and his Bongo taken out, along with Andros. Coalesce. Hanzuki taken out by Night Strike. Logan takes out. Ron coming out on Kelk is taken out by Mosaic.
And the issue
JJ taken
here
out.
really is.
Sub-Hero taken out as well.
And the Diva's just really proving not enough to support their own Orisa, and even with a Winston now, they need something that can add durability to their front line. Even a Roadhog might be a little bit better alongside the Orisa than the Diva here, just because as good as Diva Bomb is, you don't really have something to combo with it to really take advantage of it. The double shield's going to be able to cover it no matter where it goes, or no matter where it goes. You just need that extra pressure from your front line. Diva's not going to be able to protect without abandoning the Orisa as a whole.
We see Diva Bomb coming. Night Strike is taken out though by Diva Bomb. Tire. Ooh, but it looks like they have gotten off point enough to where they're stopped right where they're at.
Almost completing all 3 points, but it's just going to come down to
Just barely.
this last push here. And realistically, even if they win every fight, they're going to run out of time before they can get there. They're going to have to go into overtime, just like Scarlet did. All this time bank really gets them now, and it is huge here for Scarlet. Is they're going to have a little bit of extra time where, in case they lose a fight or two, they can rebound. They have maybe 3 fights that they can afford to lose quickly. So this is the point where you maybe want to get a little experimental, build up some ultimates, and just see what you need.
I'll give it to Monarch though. They made a heck of a push because they were in overtime from around the corner first point. They made it all the way to almost getting 3rd point.
Well, it's like I said, once they got to play aggressively because of their tank line's durability, they didn't have to worry about keeping their DPS close to try and peel for their tanks or their support. And because of that, they were able to push forward with their Tracer and with their Genji and just bully the hell out of theirs. And once you had that, you basically flipped it on its head from the way the first 2 rounds went. Sombra here, though, is interesting on it. You don't really have two Nano Blade. Maybe
See
just trying to
Sikon trying to be a little bit sneaky up top, looking for this perfect.
You could see maybe this Sombra punish their Genji, but it's all going to come down to the reaction.
Nice try, Andros.
A very similar front line here, but once again, they're just needing to break through this double shield, and they don't have a ton of options to do it unless they can land a good hack on maybe the Sigma or get some value out of the jump.
Big anti coming out, make them push back forward.
I would almost want to see that Sombra just try and target the Sigma as much as possible, because that can knock out it.
Andros taken out by Nice Strike. You see Coalescence coming out.
Hanzuki went on to Reaper anyways.
We see who's coming out along with Big Flux, Kaneki and Sub-Hero taken out. Lynx is out of mech and Lynx is down, and JJ and Han are also taken out as well for the.
So the interesting thing here is they don't really, like I said, they don't have a great way to punish this tank line. Sigma can counter the Reaper on his own just by holding the grasp in front of it, and Orisa usually
And
shield
the
dams enough to get
drop coming out automatically to try and engage this team.
strangely aggressive.
Alright. We're coming out. By Sikon with the Nano Blade coming out, takes out two, Han and Kel. We see Bong's coming out, but it doesn't even matter because Bong Nice Strike takes out Sub-Hero. JJ and Lynx has been beaten down by Moses, and that will it. Monarch takes this game as well.
Monarch really just there, they may have been caught off a little bit by the aggressiveness of the swaps that Scarlet made, but once 2 rounds in, they were able to kind of just make their adjustments and play with a much more durable style, and that was enough for them. And that very last Genji blade is the one that's going to get play too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, legendaries. Or sorry, epics. So the interesting thing, so Scarlet did make some good adjustments there, but it just wasn't enough to hold on Monarch's first attack. And because of that, Monarch had enough time to make their own adjustments.
Mm-hmm. It was a good match, but it looks like Scarlet could not pull it off for this one.
And I think just what really just happened to them at this point is they did not have the chance. If they had maybe come out this aggressively to begin with and forced Monarch to switch to the double shield sooner, maybe on map 2 or 3, or map 1 or 2, they could have gone to the point where they had enough time to change around that. Like at that point, they could say, oh, you're doing double shield, we can swap to an even more aggressive style of play, or maybe a more durable style of play for ourselves, and then work on that. We get to see the assault one though next, going on our way to Hanamura. Which, one of the more, it's no Paris, but it's one of the more, say, controversial of the assault maps. Just because of how defensive it is on that first point. Of course, Monarch will have a fairly easy time just because of how they've been playing their own defenses through this latch match. They could easily pull out a double shield again on defense for Hanamura. Interesting thing I want to see the one thing I want to see Scarlet do, I want to see them try and maybe adapt to either a more aggressive or a more defensive front line. either maybe getting off of the Orisa and going more aggressively just straight out the bat with either a dive of your own or just a Sigma and Orisa, or not Sigma Orisa, with a Sigma and a Zarya, going back to that front, or even a Sigma and Diva. Just pushing as much as you can, try to put Monarch back on their back foot, or switching off of the Diva and going into a more defensive style.
Mhm.
Just kind of matching Monarch in their durability and just going for the tank battle purely. Just going saying, we're going to win the tank battle, and then the rest of your team won't be able to do much without him. But it's up to them at this point. They need to be able to adapt here.
First point is always the hardest on Hanamura because of that tight choke point and
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, like, maybe they go for more of a, if they do decide to play dive for some reason, it will get them around that first choke pretty easily, but it's gonna lack a decent amount of damage output in reality. Like, dive is for the most part all about burst damage, but with the way Monarch's been playing and what in the comp they've been running, it's so durable that burst damage might not be enough.
Mhm. All right. And we're gonna get it started right now. Map 4, Hanamura.
Hanamura. This is one of the maps too with
Oh,
some
wait.
of the.
Initiating match.
This is one of the maps too with some of the 2CP maps do have this problem where they have a very hard to take first point, where it's just very easy to defend just because of a very strong choke point. But once you retake that, it's actually kind of easy for the second point to be taken by the offense. Although the issue with this one is in some of them, you just have a situation where you don't really have much of a thing to push it. Like, it's just very easy for the defense on most second points, this one especially, to stall, but not very easy to retake. You just kind of have to have the mentality of the defending team here. If you do lose the fight on the second point, you just try and play for time, not the point.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
See Junkrat taking up an aggressive spot over here in this little corner.
So we do see a little bit more of a defense or like aggressive front line with the Winston just potentially being able to punish a Genji if it does come in, or the Genji Tracer combo here.
Dude, Trippy taken out by.
If you're Monarch here, you do have to think we have the upper hand. What we've been playing is let's wait for them to adapt to us, because if they don't, we can keep pushing our. So they have to see how this adjustment really works. If the Winston is enough to push them back, if it is, then you adjust.
We see almost like a little bit of a stalemate coming out from both teams. No one getting pictured. Ooh, Sickon taken out by.
Scarlet just kind of struggling to get past this choke. They're waiting for a pick to come out of their Genji by the looks of it.
Ooh, nice strike
Not
taken
that
out by
way, though.
Andro. Look like Logan has made it onto point. Hoping to get a pick here.
Scarlet kind of banditing their Orisa. They're trying to deal with the Tracer, but it's not going to be enough if they need to be able to play defensively.
Big Graviton Surge coming out. Trippy taken out by Coalescence. Bongo's coming out along with Beat Drum. Taken out. Sub Hero taken out by Nice Strike. Bravery taken out. Blade coming out. JJ, Han, and Andros taken. Nice Strike taken out by Cal. And
Scarlet
Sickon
is playing
takes
for
out
time at
Cal.
this point.
And then Sickon takes out Disease.
So they're going to have a decent amount of time here to capture the second point. The real question is, it'll be interesting to see if they can maybe snowball the momentum here and just take it off of that, or if they're going to need to play for their Nano Blade, which they will have enough time to charge with this 4.5, almost a little bit over 4.5 minutes.
I want to see Sigma taken out with a very close call. Hans to defend against that Winston jumping. Graffitics Flux coming in, connects with the Winston. Andrews' turret is taken out. Andrews himself by nice. Rissa taken out. Visor coming out, takes out Sickon. And Bravery.
The Nano Visors.
And we see Mosaic and Trippy also taken. And we see the Night Strike just trying to live as
If you can take out the Reaper, nah, he's gonna get away.
beside. And he goes and regroups with his team.
I do kind of like the Torbjorn pick here just because of his nature, being able to provide a little bit extra pressure against the Tracer and now the Reaper as well. But you're gonna want to make sure that you get some little pressure out of that Molten Core if you get to it.
Ooh, we see the Nano coming out. Night Strike is now slept. Ooh, we see Bongo's coming out, and the Pulse Bomb takes out Han. And we see Nano big 4-man on the Death Blossom.
Didn't know this was the Beyblade.
Han taken out with the cleanup, and that will be how Monarch takes round 1 with both.
So Monarch, they're really able to get there with a decent amount of time left, so it's going to be interesting if they can just... Monarch in a big advantage here, though, just because of their nature being able to play defensively as much as they really can. It's going to be interesting to see if Scarlet can even catch both points, because they might be pressured here into playing a little bit aggressively and a little bit rushed by comparison.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
No one's beating my high scores.
I'm going to make a little check-in here on Scarlet, make sure they have destroyed all of the video game consoles. Oh, it looks like they missed one on the second floor. Now they're going to lose.
That's a bad omen.
And they missed the vending machine outside. Did they get up to the top floor? That neither team went up to the top 2 floors.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
See Night Strike trying to play a little bit sneaky back here, along with Logan.
Yeah, Reaper has enough durability options here where he can kind of play that way.
Logan
Especially if he
coming
can
in
pounce
on that
someone.
Arista, trying getting Arista is taken out by Night Strike. Lovely back play right.
It's a great tactic there as the Reaper
taken out by
getting the
Night Strike
pounce.
as well.
So they kind of did show their hand too, playing that Symmetra. So it'll be interesting to
Link's
see if
taken
Hudson
out
gets
mid.
saved there. Now they're going to the Pharah. They're going to be a Mercy swap to coincide it? Yes, there is. So they are going more aggressive here, which I do like.
Ooh, Sigon taken out by Andros. Logan takes out JJ.
Mercy not even able to get into the sky at all.
And we see the flank coming out. Night Strike takes out Andros.
And the Pharah kind of getting caught behind here, trying to take care of both the damage. When in reality, if you're Pharah, you want to be pressuring that front line and support line of Monarch here.
Sub here taken out by Mosaic. Night Strike takes out Lynx.
Let's see here. So they do have both Death Blossom and Pulse Bomb to fall back on if they do start to lose this. Honestly, if I'm Night Strike here, I do my best to stay alive no matter what here, no matter what picks I can, because potentially they can try and land a Death Blossom on the point here, first point here, if they lose it.
That, or he could wipe with Death Blossom from behind
It's
if they're not
already
expecting.
a hog here. Scarlet trying to pull out just whatever they can, just gain a little bit even more aggressive here. Very little defense to speak
See,
about.
Andros low on health. We see the Death Blossom coming, gets 3, 4 coming out. And that is a good ultimate by Night Strike. And it's
confidence
even
there.
more to lose more time on the counter.
Getting closer to a minute and a half left, and all they really have to push with now is that Coalescence. They're going to get tired of this fight potentially, but they're going to have to push into both Bongo and Nano and your Pulse Bomb. Monarch just doing a really good job of cycling their ultimates here.
And they still have the Pulse Bomb and Bongos, if need be. And also Nano. We see the Coalescence is coming out. They're trying to get it. We see Pulse Bomb comes out. Coming out on Reaper. 3 die. Lynx and Andros go down. You see the Reaper trying to get aggressive and trying to stop. Takes out JJ and he takes out Hanzuki. Sickon takes out Hanzuki.
I don't think they're going to have enough time to be able to build up a Graviton. That's what they might have been hoping for with the swap to the Zara. The only ultimates they're going to get are really the ones that they have now. They have to try and take out that Lucio as their priority target. That or force out beat before they use either their ult.
You see they're going up top to try and get that Reaper. Let's see if he can escape in time. Valkyrie coming out. Reaper taken out by Cal.
Now it's time for Logan though to go hunting.
And then there's Faro with a barrage, but she gets slept.
Didn't even need beat to counter it.
Oh, Andrew's taken out. Bravery and Trippy also down. And then we see Sub and Lynx are down as well. Han takes out Logan. Is revived. And we don't see the Graphitics Flux take out anyone. But Mosaic taken out along with Sickon. And it looks like Scarlet. But we see Death Blossom come out to try and take him off point. Takes out Han, but doesn't get any more picks. He's just trying to stall for time right now.
Here comes ball.
Spin to win. And it takes out Andros. And then Pulse Bomb comes out, takes out JJ. Night Strike was taken out by Coalescence. They're all just trying to stall for time right now, not doing anything for the Wrecking Ball.
Even with the man and the Roadhog, they're having a hard time slowing him down. He can just keep spinning if he really wants.
And then the Diva is nanoed. And then we B coming out along with Whole Hog. Doesn't get any good picks from. It's now an even team fight on point with area denied, mines everywhere. Count connect with his Coalescence. It is a just get points. JJ take ground. See ground. Pulse Bomb takes out Lynx. Han is taken out by Sickon with the melee, and Sub Hero is taken out by Logan. We see Blizzard coming. We can get any and out. Trippy is taken out. Kelly's taken out by Logan. Can they make it out of this alive? Andros is down, and it looks like Monarch has won again on Hanamura.
Monarch really knowing what to do there at the end there, just knowing when you need to stall and when you need to play aggressively for kills during that last fight. You play like you go in with your Wrecking Ball, you go in with your Lucio, you play just on that point and stall for time, then turn it around when your rest of your team is there and just go for kills then. That way you can just wait it out and end up not even needing to go to the second point on defense.
I don't know about y'all folks, but I am exhausted after that last play.
I will say that I normally do like to give out player of the games. Obviously, I know everyone does, but I can't really pick one for this one, just because obviously I know I want to give it to Monarch and their strong play as a whole. But when it comes down to it, like no one player on Monarch stood out above the rest to me on their own. If I was giving a player of the game out, I would definitely have to give it to both Mosaic and Bravery, just because of their they're durable, like they're not even durable, but they're sustained while playing tank and also playing aggressive at the same time. It was just enough to give their DPS the room to work behind them while just keeping Scarlet distracted.
If I had to give a player of the night out, I'd probably give it to Monarch's Night Strike, just popping off almost on every map we see. We saw him get play of the game on all maps except for the last one.
And that's true. Now, like I said, their tanks were able to play aggressively, which kept their front line occupied and let their DPS get to work behind them, and vice versa as well. Their DPS getting behind them let their tanks play aggressively because all the pressure wasn't focused on them. Every single time Monarch was able to do that, they just kept the momentum and they couldn't be held back. There was only one little bit there on Rialto where they really struggled to do that, and that was when Scarlet played aggressively into them.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like after Hanamura, that will be our last game of the night. This has been Showdown Shane as your playoff player.
This has been Franchise as your color.
Mm-hmm. And we hope everyone has a good night.
Bye.